So it looks like the weather isn't the only thing heating up in the month of August. Is this the beginning of a seasonal pullback? Hey everyone, I'm Tom Gentile. Welcome to Patterns and Profits. And as we're in the first full week of the month of August, seasonals are suggesting a pullback may be coming. I want to show you three charts that are telltale signs of a move lower and how I trade in times of uncertainty. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a chart of the month of August as I look at it in seasonal aspects. In fact, this is the ETFs. So looking at top level information, we see that ETFs are a mixed bag for the first half of the month of August. And I'm talking about August 4th through August 15th. You know, there's some green days in there, but boy, you start getting into the last half of August and it's all pretty much bearish, mostly cloudy in terms of bullish to bearish scenarios. And this is something that should not be a surprise to any of you that have been following me for a while. I've been talking about this for quite a while, that July was going to be in like a lion, out like a lamb. August was going to be bearish. September is going to be bearish as well. So let's start thinking about what we want to do as potentially we see uncertain times heading to us. Now, from here, let's go ahead and talk about these three charts I wanted to show you. So first of all, as we head into the first full week of August, bonds tend to sell off. So what you're looking at here is TLT. And I'm looking at TLT for the next 40 trading days. That means this takes us well into September. And if we look at the last 10 years, what TLT has done is it has dropped. Now, this green on the screen means that if you would have shorted TLT with this drop, you would have been right 9 of the last 10 years. 2019 was the only time that TLT actually rose a little bit. But in every other August and September of the last 10 years, 9 of them have been decisively bearish. Next, let's look at emerging funds. So Wisdom Tree has emerging funds such as Mexico and the one you see on the screen here, India, where they tend to pull back. So what I haven't seen is I haven't seen outright the Dow or outright the S&P throwing 90% numbers in here yet. But at the beginning of August, we start to see things like the Wisdom Tree India Earnings Fund pullback. If you would have shorted the Wisdom Tree, this is EPI, that's the symbol for this one, last 9 years, you would have been right. Only 2015 had a year where emerging markets moved higher in August, September, but every other year they moved lower. And finally, what goes up when a market goes down? Well, I'm going to show you one thing that does. Natural gas. This is the seasonality for UNG over the next 21 days starting right now in August. So natural gas in USG tends to go up in a down market. In 2015, it actually went down, but in every other year, we've seen natural gas move higher. Now, what's interesting is that natural gas in 2020 moved up almost 25%, right? That was during COVID. But you can see here in 2021, 2022, also double-digit moves. But the last 2 years, not so much, a fraction of 1%. But over the long term, we see where traders go for safety. They move into UNG. They move into natural gas. Now, as far as the stock market's concerned, what I like to do is I like to look at a curated list of the top 325 stocks and ETFs. And when I put all those on the calendar, they look bearish. In fact, there's only one day the entire month where we see more bullishness than bearishness, and that is August 7th. And look at the last 2 weeks. I mean, decisively bears that happen in the final 2 weeks of August for the overall markets and overall stocks that I look at. What do? Well, I like to wrap this up in this video up in 3 different things that I want to share with you. All right. But before I do, what I do is I take my information that I get from my proprietary software and I can look inside any day, whether it's bearish or it's bullish. I'm looking at obviously the symbol. I've blurred those out for our premium members. But what I also look at is I look at those percent returns. All right. I look at the accuracy because sometimes I can find stuff that's 100% in terms of historical probability. But I also look at something I call my power meter. That just lets me know whether or not patterns are getting better and better and better. And everything I've showed you in this video suggests that that's what's happening with the ETFs that I showed you. Finally, a bearish opportunity. So Sirius XM radio has moved down in 9 of the last 10 years, starting in the very first week of August. As you can see here, from 2015 through 2024, 9 of the last 10 years, if you would have shorted Sirius XM, you would have made money in a pretty good bit too, because the only time it didn't work was back in 2019, where it dropped. It went against you by 1.14%. But every other month, I mean, we're talking about 5 of these years where we hit double digits. The last 2 years, we saw 27% return, and last year, 30%. Sirius moved down 30% during this month of August and this bearish uncertainty that we see. So I want to throw that out there for all of you. So what do? Well, I don't just go for bearish opportunities only. First thing I do, I look at my portfolio and I look to see if I need to take profits on any bullish positions that may have almost run their course. Number 2, I'll look at bearish or bullish entries, and I look at the stock's correlation. So if I do have a bullish entry, how correlated is that stock and that pattern to the overall market? I don't want something that's 95 or 100%, because if I'm looking at the markets pulling back in August and September, why would I take a bullish opportunity if it moves lockstep and barrel with the overall markets? So I want something that moves random. And finally, if I'm going to look at bearish trades, I'm going to be using them as opportunities in seasonal uncertainty as a hedge to my portfolio, because again, corrections don't take that long. So I'm going to put in some short-term bearish trades to help hedge my longer-term bullish opportunities, right? That's what I do. That's what I'm going to be doing in the month of August, and more than likely the month of September too. Thanks for joining me on this short video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.